In a package tonight, prioritize targets to meet delivery dates. Governor Minor charges State Executive Council members. Women aspirants in forthcoming local government elections to get free forms. Governor's wife promises maximum women participation in next local government elections. Foreign policy trust. Nigeria deepens bilateral relations with United States. Stay tuned for details of these and other reports in a moment. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the news. My name is Mercy Ekere. Members of the Akbc State Executive Council have been tasked to inject speed in their assigned responsibilities to enable the state government deliver on its promises to the people. Governor Moino, who gave the advice during the first Executive Council meeting on the second year of his administration, charged EXCO members to prioritize safety in their domains. Our Government House reporter, Patience John, tells us more.
The meeting, which held at EXCO chambers of the Government House, was presided over by Governor Moino and had the Deputy Governor, Senator Okoniyarenyi, and State Executive Council members in attendance. At the end of the meeting, the Commissioner for Information, Comrade Inimebebo, who briefed Government House reporters, said Governor Moino has directed the management of Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic, Ikorosura, and Akwa Ibom State College of Science and Technology, Ikono, to be prepared for accreditation of courses in the institutions.
The governor started the meeting by drawing attention to the need for safety. We had safety briefing, and the governor has mandated that all heads of extra-ministerial departments and ministries must ensure that their facilities are safety compliant. Today, and the Honorable Commissioner for Education informed the Council of the Governor's Directive that Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic, Akwa Ibom State College of Education, Akwa Ibom State College of Science and Technology, NOCOM, and technical colleges be prepared for the accreditation of the courses that they undertake.
He also said that the council received a report on the performance of the state government in the past 1 year from the economic advisor to the governor.
Also received the quantitative data perspective report on the performance of the state government in the past 1 year. And specifically, the economic advisor who presented the report highlighted the following: that 2,984 persons have benefited directly from agricultural programs in the past year. 100 public secondary schools and 30 public primary schools have received agricultural inputs. 600 elderly persons have benefited from the state government's financial support. 2,195 people who were within the multidimensional poor category have been scaled out of that category through various government programs. 4,600 persons were engaged, either skilled or unskilled, and they have been engaged in different sectors of the economy. 229.411 kilometers of roads with 14 bridges and 3 underground drainage discharge systems have been constructed in the past 1 year. 37.7 kilometers of roads, feeder roads, have been constructed in rural areas and communities around the state.
The ever 6 hours Executive Council meeting, among other deliberations, according to the Commissioner, made a case for proposals for the year 2024-2025 to ensure compliance with their rights agenda, while the Ministries of Finance and Economic Development were charged to ensure that they come up with an acceptable budget outlay considering the present economic realities. Patience John, Akbc News.
State government is soon to take delivery of 6 ambulance trucks to aid healthcare delivery in the state. Governor Moino made the disclosure at the inauguration of the State Health Insurance Agency Board held at EXCO Chambers of Governor's Office, Uyo. According to our Government House reporter, Patience John, the 15-member board has Dr. Edikan Ekwere as the chairman.
Greeting the board, Governor Mono said the exercise is to fulfill his campaign promise of making health care delivery available to the people at a cheaper cost in line with sustainable development goals. He congratulated the board members, tasking them to bring their professional experience to bear in the discharge of their duties.
Milestone in the history of healthcare delivery service in this state, with the inauguration of the board of the State's Health Insurance Agency, a critically important agency for that matter. This event also represents the fulfillment of a campaign promise I had made to our dear people, that if you elect me into office, I will set up an insurance scheme that will seek to make healthcare delivery service easily available to the majority of our people at a cost that is both cheap and manageable. Let me therefore, on behalf of the government and people of Akwa Ibom State, congratulate the chairman and all other members of this board on your successful inauguration. Again, we have tried to move away from political appointments in some of these very critical agencies. We've gone out of our way to look for professionals that we believe understand the ethics and the ethos of the work they've been called to do. So please do not politicize healthcare, and let us play by the books and ensure that we make these services available to our people.
Governor Mano also mentioned that 6 ambulance trucks have been procured by the state government, awaiting delivery, as well as other steps taken by his administration for enhanced healthcare delivery in the state.
One of the services that I dream of and I know we can do is the provision of ambulance services to ensure the treatment of patients in emergency situations. Ambulance services is a major element of healthcare provision. As we speak, we have placed order for the first 6 ambulance trucks to kickstart this exercise. We need to start with 6 so we can deploy first to each senatorial district, keep some in Uyo, and we're putting up a command and control center, and in due time, numbers will be made available so that if we have emergencies, we can respond on time.
The newly sworn-in chairman of the board, who doubles as the SSA to the governor on health insurance, Dr. Edikan Ekwere, thanked the governor and the people of the state for the confidence reposed in them and promised to deliver on their mandates.
The expectations are quite huge. The poor people, the masses in the hinterlands will benefit. The task is that we should take the health care delivery and coverage to the hinterlands, and that is exactly what this board is aimed at.
Patience John, Akbc News.
The recent constitution of the Board of Akwa Ibom Infrastructure and Assets Management and Maintenance Agency by Governor Moino to oversee the maintenance of public assets and infrastructure has been justified. He was speaking during an inspection of facilities at the State House of Assembly complex along Udaudama Avenue, Uyo. Governor Moino said the complex would have been better maintained if such an agency was in place. Again, Patience John reports.
At the State Banquet Hall venue of the Covenant Service, Governor Moino, in order to promote and encourage women participation in politics, announced free nomination forms for female aspirants, as well as party's 40% support for women.
We have talked about women, and some people have started saying it's not democratic, but that's our party's position. And any other party can do anything they want. Our party's position is that women will get 40%. Most men don't go to vote, we know. So let's not deceive ourselves. It's the women that go out there to vote. Our party chairman has agreed that the women will not sell forms to women. We'll just give them.
The governor reminded stakeholders in different local government areas to present credible candidates and only those favored by zoning.
I'd like to say that I'm aware the party will soon begin to sell forms for those who want to apply for office.
At the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Governor Moino, along with his entourage, was received by the Speaker, Elder Odemoton, and other members of the 8th Assembly. He was conducted around different offices, including the clinic, resource center, chapel, library, and committee offices, among others. The governor said he was at the Assembly complex on the invitation of the Speaker to ascertain the extent of dilapidated infrastructure in the facility.
The Speaker had invited me to see the state of the House of Assembly, where we make laws, where people over 500 staff work here. And he has been pushing for an overall maintenance of the entire facility, of the House of Assembly, the physical structures, you know. We've gone around, we've seen it, we'll go back to the drawing board. Understand there's been no repairs, no maintenance since it was built. And that leads me to two things. Why we have the Asset Infrastructure Maintenance Agency now. If that agency was working before now, this house wouldn't have been in this state of decay.
Appreciating the governor for the visit, the Speaker of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Elder Odemoton, expressed optimism that the Assembly complex will get the desired first lift.
An exceptional visit by His Excellency Governor of our state, Pastor Mobasieno. He has come to see what I've been telling him, what I've been writing, and he has seen it by himself, and he has said it, he's going to work on it. So we are very happy to have him in our complex, and we are very sure we are going to sleep with our two eyes closed, knowing that he's a man of his word and he's going to do something about the complex, a turnaround of the entire complex.
Patience John, Akbc News.
Sincere apologies for the earlier mix-up. 31 women have been selected as coordinators of Patience Umoino Support Group, to be known as IBAN Patience Umoino, across the 31 local government areas to drive the gender-inclusive structure approved by the leader of the People's Democratic Party and Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Umoino. Addressing female stakeholders drawn from all local government areas at Government House Uyo, the governor's wife, Pastor Patience Umoino, thanked them for their support, steadfastness, and commitment to the Arise agenda of the state government, which attracts a larger space for women in the polity. Margaret Bassey reports.
The First Lady commended her husband for creating more positions in leadership for women to occupy in the various local government councils, described as unprecedented and unparalleled. His decision, she said, the governor's directive to the PDP for an increase in the number of female chairmen, vice chairmen, and councillors is a development that has further endeared him to the people. Pastor Patience enlisted terms of reference for her local government coordinators, urging them to work in tandem with other stakeholders in their local government areas in order to fish out qualified women to serve as councillors and chairmen, stating that such women should meet the criteria of the zoning arrangements and exhibit commitment to live up to expectations of those officers.
For each local government, since they will be calling the meeting on my behalf, they will be saying my minds to the people, to the women. That should explain it to you. That should be the motivation.
A former deputy speaker in the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Princess Felicia Bassi, the wife of the paramount ruler of Akwa Ibom Mandoabia, the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Dr. Inia Diakban, and the presidents of the Senatorial District Women Forums pledged their commitments to galvanize activities in their respective wards and local government areas to see to the successful process of selecting the women for the political positions.
This is our mother and our loyalty is with her. I couldn't say a thing in somebody even. She's there to release it to us.
The outcome of all our meetings.
With the announcement of His Excellency, we know that Akwa Ibom State once more will come tops with the number of women that are engaged in governance.
Outcome is this patient one command, one people, and one followership. Moramaka, come our gender-friendly government. And I want to say that because for you to give us help, at least,
Margaret Bassi, Akbc News.
You're watching Akbc 45 News. Still ahead, foreign policy thrusts. Nigeria moves to deepen bilateral relations with United States. Plus other reports after this time out. Just there. The Akwa Ibom State government has reassured members of the public of the safety and full operations of the Victor Ata International Airport. Government spokesperson and Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Comrade Ini Emiribong, in a statement made available to newsmen, says all the airfield lighting and other facilities are still in place and functioning at optimal performance. He explained that in order to facilitate the speedy completion and integration of rapid exit way at the airport, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority had approved a sunrise to sunset operation which will revert to its former status after its completion. Comrade Imebong disclosed that the Umoino administration is dedicating itself to completing the MRO and other critical infrastructure in order to maximize the state's gains in the aviation subsector. He therefore advised critics to update themselves with the factual information before commenting on the status of the airport. The Akwa Ibom State Police Command has cautioned parents and guardians to be more vigilant and involved in the day-to-day activities of their wards as child traffickers are on the prowl in the state. Akbc 45 News crime reporter filed the story here presented. The latest act involved a 12-year-old boy who was kidnapped while hawking groundnuts along Oron Road in Uyo and taken to Evun community in Obinwa local government area of Abia State. The police commissioner said his men, acting on credible intelligence, arrested one Michael Emmanuel Edith, Ability Henry Tom, and one Uwem Udom Moses from their hideouts within Ibesiko and Akaitinan Road in Uyo. He said the children were sold for as low as 400,000 naira and appealed to parents to be more vigilant concerning their wards and warned criminals of their impending doom.
Also with us is one Daniel Emma. We act on intelligence and we are able to recover from him AK-49 rifle, one SMG rifle, 2 magazines, 6 rounds of 7.62 mm live ammunition at his residence along Nepal at Yo. The man is there with the exhibit that will recover from him.
Speaking on the successes recorded by the police, in June 2024, the Commissioner of Police disclosed that all kidnapping cases were properly resolved. He urged citizens to sustain their collaboration.
The Executive Governor of Akbc State, Pastor Omo Eno, for the wonderful support that we have been receiving from them, and the good people of Akbc State too, for the support that have been given to us. I'm assuring them that the State Police Command will not rest on the grass and make sure that we make the state safe for all and sundry.
Meanwhile, the rescue school proprietor, whose identity is being protected for security reasons, narrated his ordeal to journalists. He said the abductors could have succeeded in their attempt last Friday, but not for a gallant police officer who tailed the kidnappers.
Suddenly, Keke took a kidnapper. One came and blocked me in front. I thought maybe he wanted to turn. I didn't know. Then the other one was behind. He pretended just to buy time for the other one to come and join him in front. Suddenly, 2 of them alighted from the Keke with guns and shot at the vehicle. Called me, shot at the tire, opened the door, asked me to come out. I asked them why. What's the problem? Before I could know what was that, they hit me on the head with 2 iron. Hit me, and the blood gushed out.
On the national scene, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tugar, says Nigeria is working to deepen bilateral relations with the U.S. in accordance with Nigeria's foreign policy thrust under President Bola Tinubu. Tugar stated this at the 248th U.S. Independence Anniversary Dinner organized by the United States Embassy in Abuja. The minister said deepening Nigeria-U.S. ties will further cement their many years of cooperation and friendship. He noted that the signing of the Nigeria-U.S. binational cooperation is one of the major foreign policy objectives of the Tinubu administration. The minister said both countries were working on a few other agreements and cooperation towards strengthening them, and expressed Nigeria's gratitude to the United States for the various interventions in the country's health. The federal government has ordered the computation of accrued pensions of serving federal civil servants. A memo by the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation, which was obtained by journalists in Abuja, said the move was in collaboration with the Ministry of Finance and will focus on employees who were employed on or before June 30, 2024. The memo said the move would enable government to plan ahead of time towards the early release of the entitlement of workers. The report have it that the federal government had failed to release funds for payment of accrued pension rights in the first half of 2024. 2 Nigerian students have been selected among the top 30 students in the architecture, engineering, and construction management industry sector in New Zealand. The Nigerians, Angela Odet and Oludalapo Olarewaju, were also listed among the top 10 students in construction management in the country. They have been given an all-expensive paid trip to Christchurch in New Zealand to compete in a 3-day client's brief challenge. During the trip, the students will create innovative solutions to help solve industry issues, with winners taking away $10,000 prize. The students are from 9 tertiary institutions, which are the University of Canterbury, Unitec, University of Auckland, Otago Polytechnic, Auckland University of Technology, Ara Institute of Canterbury, Victoria Institute of Wellington, Welltech, Western Institute Technology at Taranaki, New Zealand. Still on the national scene, the House of Representatives Special Ad hoc Committee on Restructuring of Government Agencies and Commission has commenced the process of reviewing the recommendation of the Steve Oransoye report. The report aimed at reducing the cost of governance through merging, scrapping, and relocating of some departments and agencies of government, and was submitted to the federal government in 2012. The report on public sector reforms revealed 541 statutory and non-statutory federal government parastatals, commissions, and agencies. On February 26, 2024, the Federal Executive Council meeting, presided over by President Bola Tinubu, approved the implementation of the report to reduce the cost of governance, according to the Minister of Information and National Reorientation, Mohammed Idris, who was addressing journalists at the National Assembly Complex, Abuja. The committee chairman, Isiaka Yokunle, justified the need to review the report. The committee, according to him, will hold a one-day public hearing on the matter on July 10 in Abuja. And on that note, we conclude our package tonight. But just before we go, a quick reminder of some stories that made headlines tonight. We told you that members of the Akbc State Executive Council have been tasked to inject speed in their assigned responsibilities to enable the state government deliver on its promises to the people. Female politicians in the state are in for good times, as Governor Moino announced free forms for women who wish to contest in the forthcoming local government elections. We also told you that 31 women have been selected as coordinators of Patience Umoino Support Group, to be known as IBAN Patience Umoino, across the 31 local government areas, to drive the gender-inclusive structure approved by the leader of the People's Democratic Party and Governor of Akbc State, Pastor Umoino. That's a package tonight. Thanks for your time. My name is Mercy Akere, and on behalf of the news crew, is wishing you a pleasant night rest.